reflection, youth, let your spirit show. Together they stand hand in hand, united they break through the sand. The stars above their dreams align, in their spirit true love does shine. Beneath the shadow strength is born, in every soul a brand new morn. Light of passion ignites the way, guiding hearts to a brighter day. Let your voice be heard across the sky, lift it up. Take a look inside, the mirrors glow, young hearts seeking truth to know. Mystery within their eyes appears, shining brighter than their deepest fears. Echoes of the past, their steps to trace, in this journey they find their grace. Through the trials and the tears they weep, their souls awaken from the deep. Let your voice be heard across the sky, lift it up, don't let it fly by. In this moment feel the power grow, soul reflection, youth, let your spirit show. Together they stand hand in hand, united they break through the sand. The stars above their dreams align, in their spirit true love does shine. Beneath the shadow strength is born, in every soul a brand new morn. Light of passion ignites the way, guiding hearts to a brighter day. Let your voice be heard across the sky, lift it up, don't let it fly by. In this moment feel the strength is born, in every soul a brand new morn. Light of passion ignites the way, guiding hearts to a brighter day. Let your voice be heard across the sky, lift it up, don't let it fly by. In this moment feel the take a look inside, the mirrors glow, young hearts seeking truth to know. Mystery within their eyes appears, shining brighter than their deepest fears. Echoes of the past, their steps to trace, in this journey they find their grace. Through the trials and the tears they weep, their souls awaken from the deep. Let your voice be heard across the sky, lift it up, don't let it fly by. In this moment feel the power grow, soul reflection, youth, let your spirit show. Together they stand hand in hand, united they break through the sand. The stars above their dreams align, in their spirit passion ignites the way, guiding hearts to a brighter day. Let your voice be heard across the sky. Lift it up, don't let it fly by. In this moment, feel the don't let it fly by. In this moment, feel the beneath the shadow, strength is born. In every soul, a brand new morn. Light of passion ignites the way, guiding hearts to a brighter day. Let your voice be heard across the sky. Lift it up, don't let it fly by. In this moment, feel the
Good evening and welcome to Soul Reflection, Unveiling the Spirit Beyond the Youth. I am Rachel, your host for tonight. Here on Soul Reflection, we would like to first of all thank God for making this a possibility. We would like to then thank our Prophet Isaac Osei, who is the head of KKC, for giving the youth this wonderful opportunity to have such in-depth discussions. We would also like to thank our producer, who's all the way overseas and yet makes sure that the show goes on. We'd like to thank our panelists, our viewers, the members of KKC, and then importantly, our sponsors. We're just going to go for a short commercial break and we'll be back with our in depth discussion for tonight. Stay tuned.
Me ba London ha me bibie koyi nanso madua ne nsam kwade enkoyi se be ya menya Ghana duane papa bie di no eno ne me problem
minia so de oyaba fresh dimachi na me kochero kone special authentic Ghanaian restaurant na benya Ghana duane papa ne nyina bie di na be san kwan ya bra won fifie
and the boga yentem fa me wo so sisi a na de enya fufuo ni aponche kakra medi
wonni how cry kone special restaurant e wa Ghana duane bi te se fufuo ni adren kwan fufuo ni nkrakra fufuo ni aben kwan na sen kate kwan pima mpesi na bayam pesi ni kontomre nkran kro papa bi wache jollof rice ne fried rice banku ni nkruma bayar ya chine chofi bayar ya chine tilapia a confirm kebab ne ne keka ho nua Mr. Ghana aduane bi a wonim bia ubenya bi e wo kone special authentic Ghanaian restaurant fieda memne da na kwasi da bia kone special authentic Ghanaian restaurant ebe ma tuoza fi papa bi ene mutuo special niema kone special authentic Ghanaian restaurant e dan so kra ne se wo pesti na san kwa bia kwese o fridge ba na wodi ni kakra kone sebra no be sort out cry asemode ne se fieda ne memne da bia ye pon 2:30 am na memne da live band chenche ejiram ye twa na se agiani ankasa hwehwe kone special authentic Ghanaian restaurant ewo 85 to 87 Woodrange Road Forest Gate London E70EP Fred Bekwe ewo telephone number so +44 75 78 611 211 ana +44 73 09 427 2127
Kone special authentic Ghanaian restaurant anokwa mama sankwan
Are you ready to step into 2025 with power, purpose, and divine favor? Kingdom Keys Chapel invites you to our 31st night crossover service with Prophet Isaac Osei.
Praise God, praise God, praise God. Beloved, as we prepare to step into 2025, I invite you to join us for a powerful night of worship, prayer, and prophetic declaration at our 31st night crossover service. The Lord has revealed that 2025 will be a year of supernatural breakthroughs and divine favor. Oh, connect to collect. Don't miss this opportunity to cross over in victory. I look forward to seeing you there. Come expectant, and God will meet you at the point of your need.
Join us for a night of gratitude, worship, and prophetic declarations as we usher in the new year together. This is not just another service, it's a life-changing experience. Prepare to encounter God's presence and receive a fresh vision for the year ahead. Mark your calendar, Tuesday, December 31st, starting at 7 p.m. at Connell College, High Road, Tottenham, N15 4RU. Underground, Seven Sisters, Victoria Line. Buses, 76, 149, 243, 259, 279, 318, 349, 476. Don't come alone. Invite your family and friends to experience a night of destiny. Kingdom Keys Chapel, your key to a victorious 2025. See you there.
Looking for some fun and faith-filled entertainment for your little ones? Introducing the Little Lights Show, an ultimate destination for the young hearts seeking inspiration.
Hey friends, have you ever wondered why I pray? Or how about why being kind is super important? We will laugh, we will learn, and we also have a blast together. Join us as we dive into these awesome topics and more.
Get ready for interactive games, special guests, and plenty of surprises along the way. Tune in first Monday of every month for faith, fun, and friendship. Live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m.
Don't let Satan it up. I'm gonna let it shine. Don't let Satan it up. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it
Good evening and welcome back to Soul Reflection. Today I'm here with ESTEE, Isaac, Emmanuel, and KEZIAH as my panelists. Before we get into the topic for today, I want us to have a bit of an icebreaker. So, what is everyone's screen time? And if you could share your daily screen time with us, that would be really, really good. Who would like to go first? Okay, fine. My screen time is about 8 hours. Please, can someone tell me what their screen time is?
Mine is 7 hours and 20 minutes.
Okay. Mhm.
Mine is 4 hours, 54 minutes.
Okay.
Mine is eight
Mine
hours
is
41 minutes.
5 hours and 15 minutes.
Hey, am I the only one? Okay, guys, I don't think that's my screen time. Let me give you my real screen time. My real screen time is maybe 5 hours 30 minutes. Thank you. So, how does that number make everyone feel? Like, were you surprised when you checked your screen time?
To be honest, I wasn't really shocked with mine because most of the time, because of like having a child, it's like you're mostly like busy, so you don't have. I don't have time for my phone. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
unless if someone calls me. Yeah, then
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else? Were you shocked about the hours you saw, and how did that make you feel?
I thought it would be more.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Okay.
it would be more than someone else because I am on my phone quite a lot. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. Emmanuel, how did that make you feel? Or you
And
just
for
knew
me,
for
the,
certain?
the 4 hours is too much for me because I don't know how I get to that hours because always my phone is on the couch or on the table. It's either someone calls me or someone texts me. That's when I reply the person. But 4 hours is too much for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's very hard for me to pick up my phone and start scrolling or doing something on it. But it's okay.
Okay. Yeah. How about you, Isaac?
Well, with mine, it's something that I was expecting. So most of the time on my phone. So I was expecting more though, but I think 8 hours is fine.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So mine is previously I said 8 hours, but previously I was using my phone a lot. Now it's about 5 hours because, you know, yeah, I don't know why, but I actually was surprised to see the kind of the number of hours that goes into like me using certain apps on my phone and things like that. Because obviously I have a busy schedule, but anytime I get the chance to at least go on my phone for a couple of minutes, I will use that chance. I will take that chance. And so I guess it piled up into the number of hours I've accumulated so far. As well, I get bored easily. And so I spend my time like researching things and then all of that falls up into my screen time. Okay. So in this digital age, we're coming to kind of introduce the topic. In this digital age, a lot of our time is spent on our phones, which brings us to our topic for today. It's digital overload. Okay. And so the first question I'm going to ask is what do you think digital overload is? If someone can kind of give me their um, definition for digital overload.
I would say it's when you're constantly on your phone or on social media, playing games or even watching movies, and then the amount of time that you put into that is not the same that you would put into like real life interactions.
Hmm. Okay. Anyone else?
I feel like digital overload is like an addiction.
Okay.
Yeah, where you can't stop like being on your phone. Like without your phone, you can't do anything. Kind of vibe. But yeah.
Okay. Anyone else? Does anyone else have anything else to add to that question? Okay. What does anyone think the statistics for the average daily screen time for a child or a youth could be? Does anyone know?
It might be 10, maybe max.
Pardon?
10, maybe 10 hours. I don't know.
Ten
No.
hours. Okay, yeah. I think so too. Because obviously these days kids, even kids like really, really young babies have iPads
Yeah.
even before a 20-year-old gets one. So I think that is spot on. As well, does anyone know or think there's a link between digital use and then mental health challenges?
Yes, I think so.
Can you kind of explain why you think there is a link?
As you said, a child at the age of 2, 3, 4, 5 using a tablet, and then you get to know when you take the phone from them, they act as if they cannot do anything in this world apart from the phone. They start acting aggressively. Give me the phone, they will start behaving abnormally. Why? Why do you want to take my phone? What is going on? But this lady or this guy has been on the phone for more than 5 to 6 hours, and they are just trying to tell, oh, limit it, go back, pick your book and read something. They'll be like, no, no, no. But when you give them back the phone, you realize they are not doing anything with the phone. They are just scrolling, watching videos. The moment you try to take it away from them, it becomes something that is very difficult for them to give up. And they start acting aggressively. Sometimes they even turn you down. They don't want to talk to you because you are trying to take the phone from them. And I think that one is also affecting them one way or the other.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Does anyone have anything to add on to that?
Yeah, I would like to
I
add
agree with
something.
what Emmanuel said,
So with
because
as
you
you're
see
saying that
this a
when
lot
you take
in
the phone from them,
children
they
and youth,
turn out to
because
Sorry, give me a second, guys, please. Can who would like to go first? Isaac and Esty? Who would prefer to go first?
I see go.
Okay, okay. Esty?
hello.
Yes, please go.
Okay, sorry, because I can't hear Isaac says I don't know when to go. Sorry.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. So as I was saying that I agree with Emmanuel, with what he said about the aggression and disrespect, because children learn a lot of things on the internet, and the internet does teach them a lot of things that parents wouldn't know what they are watching and stuff. So the way they act and everything is to do with being on the phone, who they talk to on the phone, and with that, with the aggression bit, it's like once that is taken away from them, they don't have anything else to shift their focus to, because probably the parents are too busy, or they don't have friends and all of that. That's how some children will be addicted to their phone.
Mhm.
They think that the virtual world is their reality, kind of vibe. But yeah,
Mm.
thank you.
Thank you. Isaac, would you like to speak now?
Okay. So as I said, with what Emmanuel said, sometimes when you take the phone from them, they start to act some way or try to fight you or something. But at the same time, I will not go like with the kid. Even we as the youth or as adults, sometimes when there's an issue with the internet, especially like when there's a problem with the network provider or something and the internet goes out, because we don't have access to whatever we have on the internet, it becomes a problem. And that one is like some kind of sickness, like it's like a pandemic. Like everyone seems to act crazy, like because they don't have access to the internet. And it's really, really a problem that we need to be self-aware and make a conscious effort not to act that way. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Does anyone else have anything to add?
Um,
Okay.
I would,
Oh, sorry.
I would say when you're constantly on your phone, like you might rarely take breaks, and then you can become fatigued. So like you might find that in a day you haven't really done anything, like you haven't complete a task, but like you're still tired and you still feel sleepy. It's probably because you've been on your phone the whole day, but you haven't really done anything. Like maybe you're just lying down or sitting on the couch, like just scrolling through something, but you'll still find that at the end of the day, like you're still there. I think that's what mental health, something that it could, yeah. I think that's how it could affect you mentally.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. So that is kind of shifting us into our second question, which is how does social media affect self esteem? I think we've dealt with the mental health, but now we're moving into self-esteem. Does anyone have any thoughts?
Um,
Well,
Yeah, who would like to go first?
yeah.
Please speak.
Oh, should I go? Or
Oh, okay, yeah, you.
okay, I was gonna say, like I said before, like when you're constantly like engaged in your phone, obviously you're not going to really interact like to people on the outside world. So I feel like maybe when you're put in a setting where you have to do that or you're forced to do so, you might become overwhelmed and not know how to like interact with other people. And then like later on you might think, yeah, you are comfortable, you won't like the idea of having to interact with other people. That could obviously damage your self esteem because you won't feel confident enough to do that because you're so used to doing it on the phone or online.
Okay, thank you for that. Yes, SD.
Amen. Yeah, so I also want to add because of beauty standards. So for example, that can be one way of how it can affect people because online you're seeing how someone's skinny, someone's like this, someone's like that. But because there's filters around and stuff, so you'll be more confident online than if you're like outside because then you'll be insecure, like, oh, my nose is looking a bit wonky, like, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's one way that it can affect you.
Yeah, I think with what ST just said, with the filters especially, that's like a view I really had because a lot of people, I mean, I used to use a lot of filters a lot. A lot of people used to use filters a lot. It's only now that natural beauty is being embraced, but before it's just filters. And if you have the dog filter, you're on top. If you have the cat filter, you're on top. So that makes a lot of sense. But who else has anything to add?
you realize, as KEZIAH and ST said, being on the phone, people, you get to know that interacting with people, they will chat like what's going on. They will respond quite in a way that this guy is very good in conversation and everything. This lady is good in conversation. But when you meet them in real person, that's when you realize this lady cannot even talk to you. This guy cannot even talk to you. When you ask them question, they'll be like, But on the phone, you see them responding quickly because that place there's no face-to-face interaction. And I think we are meant to be together. Like if I want to talk to you, Rachel, I can say, okay, let's meet at the park, have a conversation. One way or the other, you can tell me, oh, I'm busy today. I'll be like, okay, then tomorrow. But some people, the more you tell them, the more they give you excuses. Oh, let's talk on the phone. I know we can have video calls on the phone and we can have voice calls on the phone. So let's have this. But when it's time for us to meet, or when we meet, that is when you find out that there is no confidence in it because of the phone that we've been using. And so the kind of conversation you want to have personally with the person that is face to face becomes very difficult between two of you. And I think that is what we have to try to avoid. And now we have to associate ourselves with the people because going out, talking to people, interacting with people physically also helps us, helps our body and everything. Thank you.
Thank you. So what I had to add to that is that it's very true that people are very confident behind their phones because they're in the comfort of either their homes or wherever they find themselves using their phones. And especially if it's a situation where they bought their phone or a family member bought their phone for them, it's their possession. And
Yeah.
so they feel free to use it however they wish. And then in person, people care more about how they present themselves. They care more about how they speak, how they come across to other people. They become more um, conscious of whatever it is that is going on with them and however someone would perceive them. But over the phone, they get to give you a point of view. So they tell you or show you what they want to show you.
Yeah.
So that way they kind of are confident the ball is in their court. They have all the control on what you see, but in person you can see more than what they present. You can kind of discern more than what they're showing you. So I guess that really affects self-esteem as well. There was this term a friend of mine used to say a lot. She used to say that people are phone warriors. That means that when they're behind the phone, they are very confident to type whatever message they want to say, be it good or bad, however they want to talk. They have that confidence to talk. But when they come in person, as Emmanuel was saying, they can't even say 2 to 3 words. They're just, mute. And that happens. As well, people have so many personalities they show online, but in person, I mean, if you read the room, you can act accordingly. So that kind of makes sense to me. But self-esteem is highly affected by the digital age. Now we're moving on to the next question, which is, who knows what FOMO is?
The fear of missing out.
Okay, so we're going to kind of discuss the fear of missing out and then its effect on anxiety. Yeah, so does anyone kind of understand where this is going? Okay, so yeah, okay, Kezia, could you please express your thoughts then
Express my thoughts on what's the question? Sorry.
on the fear of missing out and its effects on anxiety?
Um. Okay. If you're constantly thinking, oh, if I don't do this, or if I don't involve myself in this, like I'm not going to have the same experience as everyone else, then that can cause you to only do things because other people are doing it. So when it comes down to doing things for your own intrinsic wants, you're not going to feel like motivated to do it. And also like if you're always like wanting to catch up, not catch up, like keep up with what other people are doing, it can cause you to like be overwhelmed. Like you're constantly looking for the next thing to do because other people are doing it, and obviously that's not really healthy.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. Does anyone else have anything to say about the fear of missing out and then its effects on anxiety?
Yeah. Okay. So this one personally, I will use myself as an example. So I like watching movies a lot, especially TV series. So there's this thing that I do that when they are showing the day that they will show that TV series or the day that they will release it, I would like to watch it at the same time and be on Twitter just to see what people are saying or what people are commenting on the movie or the series. So if I'm not able to watch that movie at the same time that they release it, I kind of miss out on what people will say. So it makes me feel like I've been left out, and sometimes I don't even enjoy the movie again if I'm watching because I feel like whatever that we need to discuss, they've already done it, and I don't even enjoy the movie again. So that is my take on that one.
Okay, that really coincides with what Kezia just explained.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for that example. Does anyone have any further thoughts on the fear of missing out and its effects on anxiety? Okay, so the fear of missing out, I think that sometimes when there's a trend and there's something going on and everyone is on it, as Kezia said, you would like to keep up. But not only that, there are certain people who are part of the trend and they keep making the trend go on. And then they will kind of pinpoint certain people and say, oh, do you not know this? Or do you not do this? Like, you're really missing out. There are people who kind of rub it in. And so certain people can feel like they're left out or they feel out of place because they're not in tune or in line with certain trends. And that can really affect you in terms of maybe your friendship groups, that can affect you in terms of wherever you go and things like that. You feel like you're left out, you feel like you're out of place, you feel like, oh, everyone is hopping on this trend and only me, I'm not on there. I have an example. There are certain social media pages or certain social medias that I don't have accounts on. And people have told me, oh, why aren't you on this? Because you'd explore more and you'd see more, and I mean you would be in touch with certain things that we are all in touch with. And sometimes I personally like to do research. So if there isn't something that I want to research on there, I don't find the need. I don't care about the I don't really see a purpose in it. So I don't care to join it. I don't care to hop on a trend that I don't really think I'm in tune with. But it can cause anxiety because I think when I was younger, if these things were said to me, I will quickly get one. I remember when I was younger, when everyone had Facebook, I got Facebook. When everyone got Instagram, I also went to get Instagram. When everyone had Twitter, I went to get Twitter. And now I don't even have those accounts anymore because, well, I don't see what every other person sees on there. Like, I don't see the purpose of having those. So, yeah, it can really cause anxiety because I've had that experience before. Okay, now on to the next question. How does being constantly online affect in-person relationships? I think we've dealt with this, so we'll quickly brush through this. Does anyone have any thoughts?
I feel like it just affects your communication skills in general.
Hmm.
Like you wouldn't be able to communicate the way that you could have potentially communicated with the person to build that relationship with that person.
Yeah. Okay. Does anyone else have anything else to say? Thank you,
Yeah,
Estee.
yeah, as he said, um, it breeds communication and then the connection between the two people working together. So if there are two couples in a room and always both of them are on their phones, the relationship, the bond, everything is going to just cut off because there is no communication, as ST said. If there is no communication, nobody knows what is going on in your life. I don't know what is going on in my partner's life or my fiance's life. I don't know. You'll be in the same room, just being on our phone, on Instagram, X, and all those other platforms that we have now. And then by the time you realize there's no connection, there's no love, there's nothing between both of us. And that is when you get to know I, I'm okay without so and so, I'm okay without so and so. But a time will come, that's when you get to know that no, it's because of this phone that we are too much bonded to the phone, much more than those that we have to bond with. And then, as we say, covalent bond, everything is gone. And then the relationship, everything just drops down, move our way. But I think that is what we have to solve now. When we are in, even with our friends, and that is what I've seen people started doing. When someone calls, will be like, "Oh, friend, I'm working with a friend, so talk to you later." That is a good thing that you have to do always. When someone calls you and you be like, "Oh, Charlie, I'm with my fiancé. We are going to this place. I cannot talk to you right now." It's a sign of respect in a relationship, and the woman gets to know that yes, and the guy also gets to know that yes, this is what I want from you because we have to share our moment together, not being together. Then I'll be on the phone chatting another woman or another friend of mine. That is kind of disrespect towards the relationship that we have. So we have to create that kind of unique bond between ourselves, both female and male, being it friends, being it in a relationship or in a marriage. We have to try our possible best to do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for
Okay.
that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I would like to also take it from another angle in terms of communication. So, there's a difference between physical communication and communication through social media. So let's say, for example, like you need to speak to someone, or like you need to maybe meet a very important person that you need to speak to. Then maybe the person might be busy, but because the person is stuck to the phone, or maybe so is maybe the person might be like, okay, you can still communicate with me through phone. So you try to see the person physically, or maybe even let's say talk to the even the person on phone, and the person will be like, no, I'm busy, so text me. With that one, testing whatever that you need to tell the person and physically communicating with the person, actually talking to the person, there's a break in communication there because whatever that you need to say, the person might interact it like might interpret it differently. Or sometimes even personally, it makes it difficult for me. Let's say if I want to talk to you, I actually want to talk to you. Then you tell me that no, I'm busy. I don't want to because I'll be doing this. Just text me whatever that you want to tell me. It makes it difficult for me to text whatever that I want to talk to you. I can spend like 30 minutes, maybe whatever that I want to say. I can use like let's say less than 30 seconds or 1 minute to tell you what I want to tell you. But if I want to test it to you, it will take me almost 1 hour because I keep deleting. Okay, no, let me put it this way. Okay, I want to say it in a way that he or she might not see it to be offensive or maybe disrespectful. But like it makes it so hard to communicate at the same time. So well, what Emmanuel is saying is 100% true. But when viewed from this angle too, it makes it difficult to communicate in the right way because sometimes you might say something and the person like might interpret it differently and it will be a problem. So that's what I have to say on that one too.
Okay, thank you guys for that. We're going to move into the next question. I think it has to do with the same thing. Does digital communication replace meaningful interactions? Everyone can have a different view. Everyone can express what their view is, and also express experiences. If that would help the viewers and us all to understand the discussion. So the question is, does digital communication replace meaningful interactions?
I
Hello.
would say yes and no.
Um,
Um,
sorry, Esty and Isaac, which one of you would like to go first, please? Which one of you? Okay, Esty, please go first.
okay, thank you. Yeah, so I wanted to say yes and no to that question.
Mhm.
Because I feel like sorry, can Isaac go? Please.
Okay, Isaac, please, please take over.
Okay, so I would say yes and no. Yes, because I would say digital communication. Let's say for example, let's say TikTok. For example, let's say when there is a trend or maybe when there's something going on that everyone is consuming, I would say I see it to be an art. Maybe let's say dancing, what else, a song or whatever. Like I see it as an art, and everyone interprets it differently. Whatever that the person is going through, the person see it this way. That makes the person comfortable, or that helps the person with whatever that they are going through. So in a way, it makes it um good in a way because it helps people with whatever that they are going through, whatever emotions that they are going through. And at the same time, it communicates something differently that maybe the person who even got that trend or the person that whatever source that is coming from might know what the reason why the person put it there or the reason why that trend is even going on is not because of you or because of whatever that you are thinking. And through that, there are examples where people have done things that have caused their lives, which that wasn't the intent of whatever that was going on. So in a way, it helps, and in a way, it doesn't help. That's my take.
Okay, thank you. Esty, are you ready?
I'm sorry, I can't speak. I don't.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Thank you. Who would like to um say anything?
I would say yes because yes to the question. Because digital communication has become very accessible to all. However, in certain venues, limited groups, for example, educational settings or interviews or networking events, you need to be able to like interact with people, have meaningful interactions, and do it effectively as well. And so I think always being confined to doing it on interacting with others on social media or from the screen, it hinders your ability to see that in real life as well.
Okay.
So that's what I think.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So to me, digital communication doesn't really replace meaningful interactions sometimes because as you all know, not everyone can be in the same space at the same time. You can have a huge family and not all of you would be in the same household. not all of you would be in the same car to go to work or to school, or not all of you be in the same uni. Basically, you guys would not always be in the same place. So when you're in the same place and you guys have a good connection, yes, you can put the phone down and then have a meaningful interaction. But when you guys are not in the same place, for example, me and my family, we're across the globe, but we do keep in touch, and we're able to do so because of the digital age. We're able to do so because we have mobile phones, because there's such a thing as emails and social media. And this really helps us continue our bond and stay in touch and be well informed about each other's lives and see how things are going. That way, our bond is even growing more, because as we're growing and the distance between us is so much, we're still able to keep our bond by maybe keeping daily streaks, um, having proof of life images or texts regularly once a month. However small the interaction is, we're still able to do it because of social media. And if you're a type of person that maybe you speak to someone daily, you're able to keep the bond with the person whilst they are way out of your reach. You're able to send memes to each other, find something to laugh about daily, have a meaningful conversation when it's necessary, have a jovial conversation when it's necessary, all because of social media, all because of your phones, instead of having to travel miles to meet each other. So I think that social media strengthens our bonds, apart from the fact that in person, certain people still prefer to use their phones instead of actually having human interactions. Um, that is when it's a bad thing. That's when it kind of replaces their meaningful interactions. But when this person is out of your reach, the digital age and the digital communication really helps with strengthening your bonds and keeping um, tabs with the person easily. Okay. We're going to move to the next question, which is, are digital distractions impacting your ability to focus and complete tasks? This is personal, so you kind of have to talk about maybe your daily life or like a personal example. Okay, so I've just been informed by our producer that we have a video that we'd like to show you all. So please stay tuned, enjoy the video, and then when we come back, we'll pick up from there.
For work. Once the day is done, find some time to spend with your family and friends, and turn your phone completely off for it. Be fully present with the people that you're with, and you just might notice that the world isn't quite as crazy as it seems, and that the life right in front of you is beautiful. For work, once the day is done, find some time to spend with your family and friends, and turn your phone completely off for it. Be fully present with the people that you're with, and you just might notice that the world isn't quite as crazy as it seems, and that the life right in front of you is beautiful. For work, once the day is done, find some time to spend with your family and friends, and turn your phone completely off for it. Be fully present with the people that you're with, and you just might notice that the world isn't quite as crazy as it seems, and that the life right in front of you is beautiful. For work, once the day is done, find some time to spend with your family and friends, and turn your phone completely off for it. Be fully present with the people that you're with, and you just might notice that the world isn't quite as crazy as it seems, and that the life right in front of you is beautiful. For work, once the day is done, find some time to spend with your family and friends, and turn your phone completely off for it. Be fully present with the people that you're with, and you just might notice that the world isn't quite as crazy as it seems, and that the life right in front of you is beautiful. For work, once the day is done, find some time to spend with your family and friends, and turn your phone completely off for it. Be fully
heart seeking truth to know. Mystery within their eyes appears, shining brighter than their trials
I
and
want you to start looking for something. And I promise you, once you start looking for it, you'll never be able to stop seeing it everywhere you go. When's the last time you've walked into a restaurant and saw an entire table of friends on their phone, or a group of people on the street, or maybe even your family in the morning, each content to be in their own world, nearly unaware of the reality around them? If the majority of human interaction is nonverbal, what would happen if you removed everything but that small remainder for over a decade? As it turns out, that's the very experiment that we're living in today. I remember when I was growing up, way back in the day, a prehistoric time before everyone had a cell phone and computers were named after the year they were made in. Okay, I'm not quite a dinosaur yet, but I grew up in a unique time where half of my childhood was without the major technology and platforms that seem to rule parts of our lives today, and the other half of my childhood was rapidly slingshotted into the new age of technology. I remember from the earlier half of my childhood, life seemed different, especially human interaction. If you wanted to talk with someone, you had no other option but to physically go out and find them and spend uninterrupted time with them in the same room. And while you were there was nothing pulling your attention away, nothing in the back of your mind reminding you that there are hundreds of other people sharing information that you might be missing out on. That degree of presence, practiced day in and day out, created a different richness to human interaction, with intricacies and nuances that seems to be slowly and gradually lost the further we progress into this new age of technological advancement. And with the meteoric rise in popularity for documentaries like The Social Dilemma, it's safe to say that this is a growing sentiment and realization within today's culture. The terrifying crux to the problem is actually quite simple. There's a massive mismatch between the rate of adaptation and advancement between our biology and technology. Because of the law of accelerating returns, the pace of advancement in information technology is exponential, and while technology continues to grow at a rapid pace, we're left still trying to figure out how it actually impacts us, especially when we're teaching algorithms to predict and modulate our behavior. I don't think that anyone's denying that social media, as well as instant communication, is extremely addictive, and its addiction falls right within the same symptoms as substance abuse. But what we don't quite know yet is how this addiction over time changes not only our behaviors through hacking our positive reinforcement centers of the brain, but how over time it changes our perception of reality itself. When we first embarked upon the social media experiment, we had far more in-person interactions under our belt than we did interactions online. So we took our in-person frame of reference and viewed all of our technological interactions through that lens. But now, in a time when we have hundreds, even thousands of friends, acquaintances, celebrities, and online personalities that we keep up with online, we have slowly over time replaced the majority of our interactions with being digital. How much do we now view our in-person interactions through our new digital lens? As a prominent example, you can look at our growingly polarized political discourse in modern times, and you see that we've already started to see the symptoms of a very binary interpretation of human interaction. It's also worrisome to think that our upcoming generation's digital presence may end up being more important than their in-person presence. So how do we stop all of this from happening? Is the answer to shut it all down, just pull the plug on big tech? I don't think that it is. The truth is, we've opened Pandora's box, and this is the reality that we're now faced with. So what's the path forward? The first step is underway: awareness. Much of classical conditioning, and if you don't know what that is, Pavlov's dogs might ring a bell, is based on the more non-conscious mechanisms of the brain. If you become conscious of how the conditioning is affecting you, it gives you a degree of control over your behavior. Beyond that, it's important to maintain that balance of in-person and digital interaction. You want the lens that you view the world from to be a full 100% of human communication. Body language, emotion, facial expression, nuanced tonality. It's what we were designed to do, and we can't let that practice atrophy, because that's what creates our sense of identity and community that gives us a healthy view of others in the world. If we can maintain that balance, we can begin to have a healthier relationship with our online presence and retain control over the influence these platforms and technologies have on us. These algorithms are based on human behavior and response, and that's something we have control over. Take some small steps today. Maybe start by uninstalling some social media platforms from your phone. Then you have to physically go log into your computer to use it, removing some of the convenience. If you're tied to your phone for work, once the day is done, find some time to spend with your family and friends, and turn your phone completely off for it. Be fully present with the people that you're with. And you just might notice that the world isn't quite as crazy as it seems, and that the life right in front of you is beautiful.
Tears they weep, their souls awaken from the deep. Let your voice be heard across the sky. Lift it up, don't let it fly by. In this moment, feel the power grow. Soul reflection, youth, let your spirit show. Together they stand hand in hand. United they break through the sand. The stars above their dreams align. In their spirit true love does shine. Beneath the shadow strength is born. In every soul a brand new morn. Light of passion ignites the way, guiding hearts to a brighter day.
Good evening and welcome back to Soul Reflection. So can anyone tell me what their perception of the video we just watched is? What was your view of the video we just watched? Or what did you think of the video we just watched?
So on the last part of the video, you realize the one narrating the whole story was like, we have to, if we want to control everything, we have to start deleting some of the apps in order for us to get the interaction we want to have with nature. Sometimes we feel like going to this place, but because of certain kind of distractions coming from the apps, then if that is what is disturbing you or distracting you from getting into contact with nature, walking around, sitting by the riverside, by the pool, enjoying the breeze and everything, then we have to come back to ourselves and then delete some of the apps that we have on the phone. When we want to go back, we can reinstall them and then log in and then do whatever that we want. But if we get to know that this app is always keeping me on the phone and it's not helping me to do other things, that means I have to just make an amendment. I have to uninstall them like 2 or 3, 4, 5 days or 1 week. When I feel like I want to go back to that place, then I'll go there.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for that. Does anyone else have any view they would like to express regarding the video we just watched?
Okay, I would like to pick it from the beginning of the video. So he spoke about time that he was born and the things that they used to do. So from the time that he was born, there was no mobile phones, there was no social media or not internet, but like the kind of technology that is available now wasn't available then. And he was specific. He was like, before you can talk to someone, you need to come out of your house and meet the person and spend time with the person, quality time with the person, before you can actually communicate to someone. And the things that they used to play with wasn't always on the screen. Physically, you meet someone, you play with a person on the playground, or maybe you toys and all that, your friend. But this time around, it's not like that. Well, someone can be in this room and have thousands of friends, but they've not even physically met before. So with this one, what I understand from the whole video is what is trying to say is that the social media or this technology, this invention of social media and technology, is slowly making us drift away from physically interacting with people or making connection with people because we will think that even if we connect to them through social media, we are still connecting with them. But if you connect with them or if you interact with them physically, that is more rich than communicating, interacting with them through social media. That is my take.
Okay, thank you. Estee, would you like to express your view on the video we just watched? Okay.
So,
Okay, so my view of what we just watched as well is coming from what Isaac said. He mentioned that back in the days, you had to travel to see people. And I know this because my grandmother once told me the same thing. She told me that if you wanted to communicate with someone, you had to get out of your house, leave your town or village, pick a car or walk, and then go to the person's house and then see them. But she was thankful for the phone because now all you had to do is pick the phone and call them, communicate whatever important information you have to communicate with them urgently. If you need to check on them, you do it immediately. If you need to do whatever you want to do, you can do it because it's now at your fingertips. And she was thankful to God for that. So I think that what it is that the digital age has really come to help with our communication. As I said, people that are far and beyond are able to communicate with each other like they're next door. But the only issue is when people are literally face to face and they choose not to communicate face to face, they choose to maybe use their digital phones and things like that. And the man also mentioned that life is beautiful. Social media makes some people it takes away from life and to some it brings into life. So there are people who are into tech and things like that. And the digital age is their means. It's their medium. It's what makes them make their career, is what makes them, progress in life and great in life because they're able to do so many things at their fingertips. Imagine if, like, maybe a graphic designer, they might now need pen and paper and paint to now draw and do things when there's actually a website for that. It's made easier. It's made their job and their work much easier because they just need a website and they just need their fingers and they just need their mind to be able to create what they want to create. However, certain people take away from like life by being constantly on social media or putting lies or putting a certain perspective on social media instead of really trying to enjoy life. Like there are people who go places, who travel around, who take tours, take vlogs to show other people certain natural habitats of certain things. We're able to see so much more because someone decided to use a camera in a certain area to explore the area for us all to see as the world. They put it on social media for it to spread. Social media is now even a tool for people to spread the gospel, to spread the word about Jesus Christ, to spread so much. Like you're able to explore so much of things from your comfort zone because of the digital age. So to me, it's a give and a take. It depends on how you use it. So there are certain people who use it too much, so much that they don't even get out of bed, so much that they don't like pay attention to certain career paths and then certain things that they must pay attention to. And so that brings us back into the question of the area of academics and career performance. Like, are digital distractions impacting your ability to focus and complete tasks? So this is a personal one. Can anyone tell me whether technology or the digital age is distracting them from what they must do?
yeah, I think so because I saw something some few days ago when I was going to work. When I am done, I'll come back to my personal life. Then I saw this young lad with the phone going to school early in the morning, and I know I'm missing my bus because it's almost 8 o'clock. And this guy should be in school by 8 or 8:30. He's on the phone, and then walking slowly to the bus stop. I just went to the other place. I go to the bus stop, and I saw another lad, young guy. He missed the bus, but You realize no, the traffic light is on red. So if I run, I can catch this bus. And so I was there, I was like contemplating. So what came into this young lad's mind? Because for me myself, sometimes I run, sometimes I decide not to run. But the guy knew that no, it's 8 o'clock and I have to be in school. There's one on the phone working. I don't know what he's going to tell the teacher. Either the mother or someone delayed him, or you get what I'm saying. But the
Mm-hmm.
other guy was just moving here and there. I'll miss the bus. How am I going to wait? Because next 15 minutes is when the other bus is coming. So I realized, I blinked at him. I said, "You can do it." And he started running. One, two. He just, because from that point to the other bus stop, you will have to run like from, let's say, from church to Lidl, and from Lidl to another bus stop before you catch up with the other bus. But the guy made it. So you could see the difference between those two lads, because one was like, I don't have to miss it. One is like focused on the phone, which is going to make him miss today's lesson, the early morning lesson. And when he's being questioned, "Why are you late?" You'll be like, "My mom didn't wake me up." But you will not tell the truth, the actual fact. One way or the other, myself, I would say, social media, when I got attached to social media, when it's time for me to do my assignment, I'll be like, "Oh, when it's 7:30, 8:30, 9." By the time I realize it's 11 o'clock. And that is when you start doing copy and paste. Instead for you to learn, you start doing copy and paste. But it got to a time I realized, no, this thing is not helping. So when it's time for me to do my assignment, or it's time for me to do my write my thesis, I just put all social media stuff away, focus on the screen, do my research and everything. And I realized that one also helped me keep so much of my distant information in my head, rather than going back and forth on the phone. What is this? What is that? How do we do this? So I think one way or the other, we have to limit it and then make sure that there's time for everything. If you want to have fun on the social media platform, you can go there. If it is time for you to accomplish a task, you also have to know when to abandon those apps and focus on your journey. Thank you.
Thank you. Isaac, before we come to you, we have a guest by name Reverend Jeremiah from Royal House Chapel, Ghana, and he wants to give his take on this topic. Reverend Jeremiah.
I don't even know the reason why your producer decided to give all my credentials out like that. And Rachel, this is so unfair. Mr. Producer, I only wrote my name to be Jeremiah. Let me join the youngies so then they won't see me as an oldie. And the Gen Zs, we need to come and chill with the Gen Zs. But I guess I'm doing a very good job.
Thank
I've been
you.
monitoring for some time now. Your
Thank
producer
you.
has been a colleague close to about a decade, if not more. And we've worked together in the media space for quite a long time. And so when it comes to some of these things, I'm always itching and always on edge to jump on it and do some few contributions. But Rachel, God bless you.
Thank
And Isaac, I've been listening to your submissions and it's very, very profound and very grateful for the good work that you're doing for the youth. So, yeah, social media is one aspect that is very, very important. That anytime the youth or the young adults are discussing about it, it's very, very important. Like Rachel, you said rightly, there are both sides of the coin that when you are very much aware as to how to be able to use it, you are able to get both benefits of this particular trend, as we will put it or we will say. And so, being a man of God, I always want to pick things from the scriptural point of view, and then we'll narrow down the discussion. I won't take too much of your time, because your producer has asked me to find time and then have a topical discussion with you guys. So we'll try and arrange, and then we'll have more of discussions like this.
you.
But if you look at the book of, I think, Proverbs chapter 14, verse 12 to 16, it says, "There is a way which seems right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death." So there are some things that you might feel that it is right, But the thing is that, is it the right thing, and is it being used at the right time? And what are the benefits of what I am doing? So I'm going to pick it from the last place. Was it Isaac who was talking about the usage of the social media handle? In the sense that, for me, for example, most of my handles that I use, I've got a timer on. So I want to say that in every day, I want to be on IG for 35 minutes. And as soon as it is getting to 35 minutes, I'll start getting the alert, which means I need to get off my social media handle. Whether I am doing my research, like Rachel, you said, you use it for your research and all that, and time is up, I want to be disciplined and go off it. Because as we all know, social media can be very addictive. So if you don't discipline yourself, you find yourself getting addicted to whatever handle you are on, and you can get distracted, like he's saying about a young guy who nearly lost his missed his bus or whatever because of the addiction. But when you discipline yourself, you say, look, I want to be on IG, I want to be on my TikTok for about an hour, 45 minutes. Stick to your plan. And when you're able to do that, you realize that you have that discipline and you won't get addicted to it because you have a focus. Now, I've realized you've discussed a lot of areas, talking about communication, the digital platform, as to how you can get the benefit out of it and all that. Rachel, I agree with you to a certain point as to where you were talking about the fact that you used to jump on social media. If people are on Facebook, you jump on Facebook. When people are on IG, I've been monitoring since you started. You jump on IG, but ever since you start, when you are now growing up or you've grown up now, you have a way of trying to sieve through which platforms you decide to jump on it. Brilliant. So that is one of the things I'm talking about, the fact that when you discipline yourself, you're able to make good use of your handles. But in terms of communication, imagine if you have a younger brother who is used to, let's say, TikTok, and you're not on TikTok. You realize that you'll be forced to, because they will tell you that the Facebook is for the old generation.
Thank you.
So based on that, if you want to have that consistent communication with that young sibling of yours, to be able to get that particular link very well, you don't have any choice but to make sure that you also have a particular handle on TikTok, so then you can maintain that relationship with your junior brother or your sibling. That is why I will side up with you about 80%. So people keep asking me, but Reverend Jeremiah, you at your age, how come that you are on TikTok, you are on X, you are on Facebook, and it's like you're on Snapchat, and you're almost everywhere? And I told them that it's not because that I want to be on. It is just because I want to maintain my communication and my relationship with my youngies. So I need to be very disciplined, regardless of how busy I am, to make sure that I also not allow these handles to keep me off track, because I want to maintain my relationship with my youngies. And so you'll be compelled to now jump on some of these handles, even though you don't want to. But for the fact that you want to maintain that communication with them, because that is what they feel that you are comfortable with, you are compelled to do that. That is where now you, the adult, have to have that discipline and say to yourself that, look, that is not going to be my primary way of communicating with them. But then again, just to maintain the communication link with them, so then you won't create a particular gap. Because imagine if your youngies is on Snap and you're not snapping, and then it's like you're trying to get hold of the person on Facebook. They will blank you. It's like I'm not ready to join that Facebook. It's for the old generation. Please, excuse me. It's a trend. So you are forced to do that. But then again, like I say, once you are able to have that discipline, you know the means of which you want to have that constant communication with certain people that you feel are okay with you. But for the young ones, just don't just make sure that you don't, spend most of your time doing other things, on their aspect or on their chat. Now, one other thing that I also want us to bring across is, which probably when I get the time, I'll talk to your producer, we'll go deep into that. If some of you have heard of what we call social traits or character traits, we have the phlegmatics, we've got the cholerics, we've got the sanguine, and then the phlegmatics. So if you are a phlegmatic or a choleric are people who are very strong-headed. That is how it's been described based on that. And then sanguines they are the people who jump all the time. They are happy, all the time. They are hey, 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 hey. So if you are a sanguine and you're not very much disciplined, you can get addicted to social media because you want to follow what is ongoing, what is happening. Like Isaac did mention, if there's a new dance and it's on TikTok, I want to go and chase that thing. See that I actually have to know what is going on and all that. But people who are also melancholy, they always want to call to themselves. They always want to be by themselves, even though they are very outspoken. But all the time, they always want to be by themselves. So if such a person is a melancholy and you are not very careful, you will realize that if you jump on social media and you're not disciplined and you get addicted to it, that is where you begin to find challenge, or you start having challenges. And some of which I'll call will lead into depression, because anytime you find solace, you find happiness, you find joy in that particular social media handle, instead of you having a normal communication, face-to-face communication with siblings, with friends, you now jump onto that social media handle, and then that becomes your friend, it becomes your research center, and you cut off the human relation. And that is where you start seeing what you call the cyberbullying and things like that. And so we need to have what I always would tell my young adult, have a balance. It is very, very important. Social media, there are its merits or advantages, and there are dismerits or disadvantages. So once you know that whatever I want to jump on for, look at the pros and cons. What, number one, is the aim of me jumping this particular social media handle? Number two, what am I going to use that particular handle for? Number three, do I need to discipline myself so then I don't become addicted to the extent that I will cut off the human relation, which is very, very important. Now, then again, I'll use a scripture in Amos 3:3. The Bible says, how can two walk together except they be agreed? So human beings, the Bible says that we shouldn't forsake the assembly of the brethren. And so for human relation, it is very, very important. But I don't know the reason why of late social media has become a place where people now want to find solace, want to find peace, and find joy and happiness there, instead of they having that particular, relationship with the human. Social media handle is just to enhance our communication, enhance our relationship with one another. So, like Rachel, you mentioned, if somebody is outside the UK or outside a particular jurisdiction, you use that means of communication just to keep that particular bond together. Having said that, that shouldn't mean that you should use that all the time in communicating. So then that human relation aspect that God created, we cut that thing off. If we do that, then it means that a brother can be in one bedroom, another person just next door, and instead of you shouting Kwame or Kojo or Rachel or Isaac or whatever, you now start tweeting and you now start sending text messages on WhatsApp just for you to ask for a cup of water. Then we are cutting off the human relation that God had created. And so I won't take too much of your time. The only thing I want to just leave with you is that, number one, have that balance. So then the social media handle will not disrupt your sleep, like one of you just mentioned, and they go start telling lies that, oh, my mom didn't wake me up early because you went to bed late because you were on your device. Number two, it can also cause most of us to have what I call the re-examining of online habits. Because if you don't have that re-examining of your online habits and you get addicted to all the time spending quality time on social media, I can tell you, by the time you blink and the way of late, somebody will say to me that the time is running like nobody's business. By the time you click 24 hours, it's just gone. And if you sit down to ask yourself, what have I done for the whole day? You will realize, or you will discover that your screen time that you spent is even more than what you were meant to even do for yourself to enhance your ability to be able to grow yourself, either through education or through your social intervention, whatever. And thankfully enough, like I said, another thing that make sure that you have a screen timer. Nowadays, social media handles or your screens can tell you the number of hours that you spend on your screen. And so for me, I've told myself, if I am not using my phone for something that is very, very vital, checking my emails, checking my messages, or whatever, if I have to make sure that I don't spend more than 6 hours on my screen, I must do it. So have that particular screen time. Check yourself all the time that, oh, how many hours did I spend today on my screens? And was that beneficial to me? If not, like I say, you have an examining online habit, and this will help you. Thank you very much, and for having me. We'll find time, and then we can come and delve deep into other areas as well. Mr.
Thank you.
Producer, thank you very much for going to expose me.
Thank you so much, Reverend Jeremiah from Royal House Chapel. We're very grateful for having you here, and we're
Pleasure.
looking forward to having another discussion with you very soon.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
I'm very sure it's going to be on part 2 of this topic. So please prepare for us and we'll prepare for you. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Okay. Welcome back, my panelists. I think for now we're going to end here as time has been fast spent. We will probably do a part 2 of this very topic with the help of Reverend Jeremiah and our producer. We're just going to go on a quick commercial break and then I'll come back with the closing remarks.
Are you ready to step into 2025 with power, purpose, and divine favor? Kingdom Keys Chapel invites you to our 31st night crossover service with Prophet Isaac Osei.
Praise God, praise God, praise God. Beloved, as we prepare to step into 2025, I invite you to join us for a powerful night of worship, prayer, and prophetic declaration at our 31st night crossover service. The Lord has revealed that 2025 will be a year of supernatural breakthroughs and divine favor. Oh, connect to collect. Don't miss this opportunity to cross over in victory. I look forward to seeing you there. Come expectant, and God will meet you at the point of your need.
Join us for a night of gratitude, worship, and prophetic declarations as we usher in the new year together. This is not just another service. It's a life-changing experience. Prepare to encounter God's presence and receive a fresh vision for the year ahead. Mark your calendar. Tuesday, December 31st, starting at 7 p.m. at Connell College, High Road, Tottenham, N15 4RU. Underground, Seven Sisters, Victoria Line. Buses, 76, 149, 243, 259, 279, 318, 349, 476. Don't come alone. Invite your family and friends to experience a night of destiny. Kingdom Keys Chapel, your key to a victorious 2025. See you there.
Good evening and welcome back to Soul Reflection. As time is fast spent, we're ending our show here today. Unfortunately, we're not able to read the comments, and so when we do part two, all of that would be read, and then we would have a much more lively discussion. Um, I would like to do our closing thanks to everyone. We'd like to first of all thank Prophet Isaac, who has given the youth this platform to be able to express ourselves, have discussions, have in depth talks about so many things that involve the youth. We'd like to thank our producer, who remains overseas and still continues to keep the show going. I would like to thank my panelists. I would like to thank the guest who was able to come here to speak to us today, Reverend Jeremiah from Royal House Chapel. I would also like to thank the viewers and the members of KKC. We would also like to thank our sponsors, for they make this show go on. And the first sponsor is Speedlink Door to Door, shipping from UK to Ghana. Speedlink Travel and Freight Limited, it specializes in sea freight services. They they are the number one company for hassle-free and super efficient delivery of your goods from the UK to Ghana. Their number is listed right there, and so be sure to contact them whenever you have any goods you want to send between Ghana and then the UK. Our next sponsor is Into My Puppet Fee. They say shop our premium authentic clothing made from high quality materials, both available in Ghana and the UK. They have the best quality materials and they're just very beautiful. You should try them. Our next sponsor is eMedia. They're your go-to media solution for top-notch graphic design and website development and broadcast services. Their numbers are right there, and you can reach them for any of your needs concerning website development and graphic design. Our final sponsor is Kingdom Keys Chapel. And as you know, the head of Kingdom Keys Chapel is the one who gave us this platform to be able to express ourselves as wonderfully as we do. I'm sorry, I forgot one more sponsor, which is Connie's Authentic Special Restaurant. That's where you get the best Ghanaian food. Wherever you're from, try Connie's Authentic Ghanaian Restaurant. They make food that are to die for. Before we go, we have a very special announcement for everyone. Unfortunately, Soul Reflection will be taking a short break until next year. So we'll be resuming next year on the 13th of January 2025. Thank you all so much for your support and for viewing and for leaving us comments and making this discussion so meaningful and lively. Thank you for continuing to support us and watch us and loving on us whenever you can. We'll see you next year.
Take a look inside, the mirrors glow. Young hearts seeking truth to know. Mystery within their eyes appears, shining brighter than their deepest fears. Echoes of the past, their steps to trace. In this journey they find their grace.
Are you ready to step into 2025 with power, purpose, and divine favor? Kingdom Keys Chapel invites you to our 31st night crossover service with Prophet Isaac Osei.
Praise God, praise God, praise God. Beloved, as we prepare to step into 2025, I invite you to join us for a powerful night of worship, prayer, and prophetic declaration at our 31st night crossover service. The Lord has revealed that 2025 will be a year of supernatural breakthroughs and divine favor. Oh, connect to collect. Don't miss this opportunity to cross over in victory. I look forward to seeing you there. Come expectant and God will meet you at the point of your need.
Join us for a night of gratitude, worship, and prophetic declarations as we usher in the new year together. This is not just another service. It's a life-changing experience. Prepare to encounter God's presence and receive a fresh vision for the year ahead. Mark your calendar. Tuesday, December 31st, starting at 7 p.m. at Connell College, High Road, Tottenham, N15 4RU. Underground, Seven Sisters, Victoria Line. Buses, 76, 149, 243, 259, 279, 318, 349, 476. Don't come alone. Invite your family and friends to experience a night of destiny. Kingdom Keys Chapel, your key to a victorious 2025. See you there.